This led to Sesame Street being moved over to H2O. What? Hey guys, so earlier this week I saw a video of a Muppet,
So is this the end
put in a
of
picture up
Sesame
right
Street?
there, saying that Sesame Street was getting canceled, and I had to get to the bottom of this, so I decided to go and do some research, and here is what I have found. So let's start off with a little bit of backstory and kind of let you know why you should care that Sesame Street may be getting canceled. So Sesame Street is not just a kids show, it is actually a non-profit organization, which means that unlike other children's shows like Coco Melon and I don't really watch a lot of children's shows, so I don't know a whole bunch, but Baby Shark, that the kind of stuff. Unlike those shows, it is not just like feeding children mindless slop that they will just like be able to entertain them and get more watch hours so they can get more money, because Sesame Street isn't about getting money because they don't profit from it at all. All of the money they make goes into helping other people. Their goal is to help educate children, which is what the entire show is based upon. Bringing us into our next topic, which is that Sesame Street helps people deal with a lot of hard topics. So you can actually go to the Sesame Street website and you can look up just about anything and there will be an episode on it. And these episodes are meant to help explain it to children and kind of help them go through it better. And it really helps to tackle these problems in ways that other shows just are not. Some examples being divorce, foster care, grief, homelessness, incarceration, parental addiction, displacement, and resettlement, and just so many other things. How many other kid shows are you seeing deal with problems like parental addiction and divorce and more serious problems like that that a lot of people are too scared to talk about? Like, these problems need to be addressed too, and Sesame Street does that in an amazing way. Sesame Street also does a really great job of not only making its show entertaining and educational to children, but also making it entertaining for adults. I mean, Sesame Street has some pretty iconic characters that even I think are hilarious, so since we just watched some TikToks, let's watch a few more.
What's your 5-year plan?
What's that mean, 5-year plan?
Like your 5-year plan? Like what are you going to be doing in the next 5 years? Do you have a
What's
plan?
Elmo doing in the next 5 years?
Yeah, you need to have a plan. You need to have a 5-year
Elmo
plan.
doesn't really know what he's gonna do in the next 5 hours.
If Sesame Street does get shut down, I am commissioning an entire wall mural just of Elmo to be the centerpiece of my house in commemoration of Sesame Street. Like, what else are you supposed to do? He is iconic, and it would be a disservice for Sesame Street to get canceled and all of us to have to miss him. Also, Sesame Street has been diverse with its cast since the very beginning, which is insane because the first episode aired in 1969, and let me show you the beginning. This intro is from the first ever episode of Sesame Street, which I have very fortunately been able to find on YouTube, linked in the description below if y'all want to go watch it. So as you can see, there were people of color literally in the first frames of the introduction, which is amazing for the 1960s because there were not many people of color on television back then, and I just think it's so amazing that children of color were able to see themselves really on TV. Now we are on to the surprisingly rocky timeline of what Sesame Street has aired on in the past 55 years, I think. So the first episode aired on November 10th, 1969 on the National Educational Television, otherwise known as NET. And literally 1 year later, NET closed down. So already off to a rough start for Sesame Street. Sesame Street was then picked up by PBS, and if any of you grew up poor, then you know how amazing PBS Kids was. Like, that stuff was free and it was so entertaining and so good. I would still be watching PBS Kids right now if I could. I might go and watch PBS Kids. Sesame Street ended up staying on PBS from 1970 all the way to 2020. But unfortunately, in the year 2020, PBS had some budget cuts and had to let go of Sesame Street. This led to Sesame Street being moved over to HBO in order to try and find some more funding, but unfortunately this arrangement did not last long because now in the year 2024, HBO has come out with an announcement saying that they will no longer be financing more episodes of Sesame Street. There is one more season that is going to be released in 2025, and HBO is keeping all of the episodes on until 2027, but unfortunately right now there are no plans to continue Sesame Street. So the answer to the question we've all been asking, is Sesame Street canceled, is technically, but there is something we can do to help. If you go onto the Sesame Street website, or I also will have it linked in the description below, you can donate to Sesame Street and increase its funding, which will hopefully allow it to make some more seasons, maybe find somewhere else to stream on, and just overall help keep Sesame Street alive. But yeah, guys, unfortunately, as of right now, Sesame Street is over. 55 years of this absolutely beautiful show that has touched the lives of millions is just gone. And the most that I can hope for is that we can raise enough money to hopefully get one more season and maybe help get Sesame Street back up on its feet. But even if you can't donate, which is completely fine, you can share this video, and I also have the resources linked in the description below. You can share just anything, and just getting the word out really would help so much. But yeah, guys, I don't want to leave this video on a super sad note, so I'm going to play another video of the legend, the icon, Elmo. And just, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and come see me again sometime.
What do you think the Cookie Monster would make of chicken chops?
A mess?
Right.
He would eat this table if you'd let him.
Oh,
He'd
God.
eat the whole thing.
But would you say you have a smaller appetite than Cookie Monster?
Most people do.